Just don't nobody touch me.
That's a good point. I heard he is a germaphobe, and I know he's definitely a teetotaler. So Ted Cruz. So yesterday, I know we love these. So let's
Ted's
try
my
to.
favorite.
Ted Cruz was questioning a higher up. Yesterday's subcommittee, they were questioning one of the top people in Twitter and one of the top people in Facebook.
I was hoping I'd get that street shitter. What's her name?
No, he would make ribbons out of that woman.
I'm sorry, but to the smug bitch from Twitter, I had a question about.
He does have papers in front of him, by the
He
way.
always is a lawyer. He's a lawyer guy.
So this is him talking to some of the top people in Twitter and some of the top people, two guys at the same time. So here we go.
Gentlemen, let me start with a question that I have asked both of your companies more than once, which is a simple and straightforward question that I'd like to get a simple and straightforward answer to, which is, and let's start with you, Mr. Monge, does Twitter consider itself a neutral public forum?
Twitter strives every day to be an impartial platform where all voices can come and speak.
Mr. Monge, you answered this recently in the House and gave an answer that was a long paragraph, and it didn't answer it. So I'm going to try. I don't actually
They never answer the question.
expect to get an answer because I've asked you this before. But are you able to answer yes or no whether you consider yourself a neutral public forum?
I didn't testify in the House, sir. I'll answer the same way.
Okay,
Which
please
is,
I didn't testify in the House,
which
sir.
is
See, we have a corporate policy to make sure we're always this shifty, vague, nebulous thing where different people come so we can all give you different answers.
Different answers, yeah.
So that we can really never have any accountability because we're just a big company, man. They're not fucking stupid. They know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
that Twitter is an open internet platform where people from all stripes and political affiliations all around the globe come and speak.
Except me.
Okay.
And my original Facebook.
Let me help you recently. Let me help you on this. Doris.
So he came out.
So recently, the CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, said, quote, "I don't believe that we can afford to take a neutral stance anymore. I don't believe that we should optimize for neutrality."
And he did say that. That is an actual quote from Jack Dorsey. I don't believe that we can afford to take a neutral stance anymore. I don't believe that we should optimize for neutrality.
Does this represent the policy of Twitter?
I have not seen that quote, sir.
Do you agree with it?
Yeah, he really did.
He fucking told.
No, don't even move. Oh, I was gonna say, don't even move the slider because that is
There you
that
go. There it
blank
is.
that blank stare. That was a 5-second. That's like when your wife goes, "Where were you Thursday night?" You better fucking figure that answer out very quickly, pal.
Let's play it.
That is not how he is building the platform and how
But he said that quote, you idiot, Carlos.
everybody who comes to Twitter every day. I think it's important to note, sir, that 3/4 of our users are overseas and that we are a global company that is staffed globally.
All right, Mr. Potts, same question for Facebook. Does Facebook consider itself a neutral public forum?
Thank you, Chairman. I think first and foremost, we consider ourselves a technology company. We are a platform for a diversity of viewpoints, and we moderate those viewpoints under our community standards.
Okay, I'm going to try one more time to get a yes or no, but your company has likewise consistently refused to answer this, so I probably can't.
I love you, Teddy.
Oh, yeah.
I love you, Teddy boy.
Do you consider yourself a neutral public? You have a choice. You can be yes or no. I'd fine either way.
Now, again, Chairman,
They just
we are a
won't do it.
They won't answer the question.
I could watch Ted ask this question to them 500 times in a row.
And they can't answer it.
technology company. We have a mission to build a community, to bring the world closer together. We try to do that through our community standards and to ensure that diverse viewpoints are allowed on the platform.
Unless you're a white supremacist, though. You're not allowed. Or a white nationalist. You're not allowed. Your
you
viewpoints
understand that
don't
if
matter.
I got called in front of Congress for something I did, right? I don't have that kind of. I can't just be like, I can't avoid a question.
Yeah, you got to answer it.
They would fucking root. They would fuck me off of this planet. But it's okay when you're this big, large, fucking national corporation.
And I like what you said earlier. They always shift the different people.
Yeah, there's always a new guy.
That way that guy could go, well, I don't know what he said.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, that guy's a fucking asshole. But look, we are a platform that creates voices for people under our community guidelines. Okay, but Mr. Lopez said that you were a publisher. Yeah, Mr. Lopez ain't with us no more.
Yeah, so sorry, he left.
We had to let him go because he was fucking, he was talking out of turn.
He works at Gab
That's
now.
what they do, though.
Yep.
There's never going to be fucking any sort of responsibility for a company, ever.
It's like the Hydra thing. You cut one head off, and just no one's going to come up and tell you the same thing. No one's ever accountable.
All right, let's try a second area of inquiry.
Wait, hang on, guys. Myo B in the chat has the big scoop. The hearings are a distraction. Are they a distraction? You got the scoop, do you? What's the big scoop? What's the big scoop, Myo B? Right, straight from the Myo B news desk. What you got? What you got for us?
Pete, you don't win.
But you know what's really going on, right? You know what? That's the problem in this fucking world and in this country and with this generation is every single one of us, myself and him and all of you included, everyone thinks they got the fucking scoop. Every person who went to fucking... I know people who the extent of their schooling is they went to cosmetology school, but they know what's really going on. It's a distraction, man.
And by the way,
Holy fuck.
the only people that really have the scoop, one of them was fucking pulled out of an Ecuadorian embassy today in handcuffs, and the other one has to live in Russia forever. You have a real scoop when you're fucking, when you can't leave, you can't come back in the country.
Bro, they're distracting you from the real issue, bro. New York State is going to start force vaccinating kids, bro, and they're trying to distract you from the... Okay, take another fucking bong hit. Christ.
Let me tell you, we'll get into... I have some vaccination stuff, but let's finish with the Cruz thing.
The ranking member suggested that there is no censorship. And indeed, she said there are just a handful of anecdotes. I will note, among other things, that Senator Blackburn, her announcement video announcing for the United States Senate was pulled down, as Mr. Manji rightly.
Senator Blackburn, a Republican senator, her announcement video was pulled down, and they never give her a reason.
Apologized for. Mm-hmm. But yet these anecdotes all seem to be consistently on one side of the spectrum. So let me ask a question, Mr. Manji. In the year 2018, how many tweets from elected officials did Facebook pull down? I'm sorry, Twitter pull down.
I'd have to get back to you on those specific cases. If I could follow up, though, sir. Every day we see 500 million tweets. And we have to action thousands of accounts.
Right. But isn't it amazing how it's always ones on certain side of the aisle? Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy that it's always the people that
it's
are...
It's almost like one side is just full of fucking whiners.
Mm-hmm.
You could say, well, we're just dealing with the reports as they come in. Well, then ideologically, leftists are kind of faggots.
Yeah.
And they're snitches, and they're tattletales, and they're crybabies.
And that those happen literally all across the political spectrum and literally all over the globe. 1 in a million happens 500 times a day on Twitter. And if you are looking for data points to support any narrative, you can find it. We do have a number.
Are you aware of even a single Democratic politician who has had a tweet pulled down? I'm not.
I am.
Could you share that, please?
Yes, sir. And
Poppy Pox, $2, Wrestling World, everything's a work.
I will note that we are as committed to transparency as you have described and have taken a number of steps to improve transparency. We also have to protect the privacy and security of our users.
See, Mike, when they took your Twitter account down, it's because they were protecting the privacy of their users.
No, they weren't.
Well, that's what Carlos Menjo says.
That's a lie, Carlos. That's a lie. I lost my Twitter account because Gabe Hoffman went, oy vey, this man, he's being very mean to people on the internet. And then you guys went, oh, no, he is being mean to people on the internet. And then despite everyone I know and people I don't even know trying to tell you people, hey, that's wrong, you didn't want to hear it. You didn't want to hear it. You don't care because of my posting history, which is, let's be honest, a little right-leaning.
asked to be part of the spotlight. But let me follow up on your question, sir.
Although to be fair, if someone's tweeting, they are asking the world to see what they're saying. I mean, that's the essence of a social media post as you're posting it.
That's true, but our actions on those accounts are also matters that are extremely sensitive. But if I could follow up on your
You're a fucking social media site where people post about cats and shit. I love when it's got into their heads, dude.
That they are the arbiters.
They are the arbiters of truth and justice, and they're fixing the world. They believe it in their heads.
Your specific question, I'm not going to mention specific names in a public forum, but very recent examples.
I'm not going to mention any names in a public forum, so I can't be held accountable for them later.
We recently changed our impersonation policy. That allows, if I could, sir, you asked the question. Our impersonation policy that allows
Hey, fucko! He's a sitting U.S. senator. Treat him with respect, faggot.
Who will probably serve for life.
Yeah.
So why don't you be nice? And then if he ever gets off the Senate and we still have a Republican president, probably be a Supreme Court justice. So why don't you tread lightly?
You have a good point.
Why don't you go easy, boys? You don't want old Teddy Cruz spending his twilight years with a judge's robe going on. You know, I never really liked those smug pricks at Twitter. Anything you send down the pipeline, I'm just going to fuck them. Fuck them right in the mouth.
High fives, Kavanaugh.
Anyway, I'm going to Panera. You want anything? Ruth, how are you still doing this?
Just poking her with a stick.
Just sitting in a chair like a fucking slug.
Ruth will be in like, remember that old episode of the original series when Pike was in a wheelchair? You could just talk with beeps. Beep, 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 beep.
third parties to report impersonation, and we had 2 current U.S. sitting senators, a sitting governor, and a sitting state attorney general, all Democrats, who were impacted by that. Second case, advertising transparency. We honored the ideas that were part of the Honest Ads Act and agree with the idea that political advertising should be more transparent. In the process of setting that up, a number of accounts got caught up in that include 3 current Democratic candidates for president and a major national pro-choice group. Somebody mentioned the general data protection regulations out of Europe.
Okay, so
the main purpose being, sir, is that these folks didn't put out a press release about it. They called us. We do trainings to all members of Congress.
Well, Mr. Bonji, I appreciate your saying
us.
You will answer the questions when we provide them in writing. I'd like to get specific answers to the question. Let me pose it to Mr. Potts, and I'll point, Mr. Potts, in 2018, how many posts from elected officials did Facebook pull down?
Chairman, I don't have that figure, but I'm happy to follow up with you.
Is he high or tired, or was he crying? Look how red his eyes are.
I think it's Cory Booker in disguise.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes... Oh, my God. Yes, with a beard.
At a later time.
Well, I would ask you to, and I would note that when Mr. Zuckerberg testified before this full committee, I submitted that question and a number of other questions in writing to Facebook, and you at the time refused to answer it and gave...
And then basically Mr. Zuckerberg had some sort of colorful fans come out from his throat. And he stuck his long tongue out and then tried to spit some sort of a green venomous material at me. In which case, I just went back to my office. I don't have patience for this.
Now, I blocked it because I used to play basketball, so I'm pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm a little faster than Newman from Seinfeld.
We're heading towards that clown world now.
So I was running through the Senate hallway with my Barbasol can full of dinosaur embryos. So what you're telling me, Mr. Zuckerberg, is if I have a Barbasol can full of dinosaur embryos and I am trying to sell them to somebody, are you going to spit venom in my face and kill me in a Jeep?
I tried to log into Twitter and it kept saying,
And also, I got another question for Mr. Carlos here. Do you just let Samuel L. Jackson smoke cigarettes in the office all day? I mean, he just chain smokes. It's terrible. You go home, your clothes smell like it. Smell like a brisket.
I think
all
Ted
day.
Cruz watched Jurassic Park recently.
That's all I can think of. I'm sorry, I'm real tired, jet lagged.
The company instead gave legal boilerplate and refused to answer the question. And nobody here knows. We know that Senator Blackburn's post was pulled down. Let me ask a comparable question, because it's not just political, it's also ideological. There have been multiple instances of, in particular, pro-life groups being disfavored.
Now, this is when he comes in with fire.
For example,
I wish you came in with
here is a
actual
tweet.
fire.
Fucking napalm. A fucking napalm.
Guys, I'd like to show you this flamethrower that Elon Musk gave me. He just starts laying waste to everybody.
Fucking
in
Hank
there.
Scorpio.
That says abortion is profoundly anti-women, and it's a quote from Mother Teresa. And this tweet was blocked. Now,
They blocked an exact quote. I swear to God, this is true. You can look it up. They blocked a Mother Teresa quote
Mother
on Twitter.
Teresa is a bigot, though. We can
Oh,
agree.
fuck.
now it is fairly remarkable that Mother Teresa is now deemed hate speech. Do either of you agree with the proposition that Mother Teresa is issuing hate speech? Is this hate speech?
If I could take a step back from that.
Dude, if I could take a step back from that,
What
they
was the
don't.
point of that? Why even send people?
Yeah, if you're not going to answer the question,
I believe that that account is from the Susan B. Anthony list,
Correct.
and Susan B. Anthony is currently an advertiser in good standing on our platform. Last
he didn't ask if they advertise on the platform. We know you'll take their money. We are very aware that you'll take their money.
These people think they're going to get away with just
They do, though.
doing this.
Because Ted Cruz brings it up again, but he goes, they never answer, and they go, send it in writing. Every time he sent a question in writing, they never reply to him.
So they have to eventually do something.
I agree.
promoted.
Mr. Manji,
from
you're
that.
very good at not answering questions. Is this hate speech?
Every tweet has context behind it, and every decision that's made.
So hold on. You determine the context. You get to decide. Wait a sec. Every tweet has context behind it.
Everyone.
So they get to decide the context of your tweet. It's not the context you meant it in. It's the context that some fucking pink-haired bitch in Brooklyn saw and didn't like and goes, fuck this guy. And that's the thing, man. They get away with it all the time because what you're seeing on the Senate floor, you're seeing bigger Twitter accounts. You're seeing verified people. You're seeing senators that are getting popped. There is a actual Twitter holocaust going on where if you are a smaller, you will get popped for no, Mercer's a prime example. You get popped with no recourse. There's nothing you can do unless you're diamond and silk and they talk for you and get you.
That's right.
Unless you're them, those are the people that are getting destroyed. And then you have fucking stupid Dave Rubin saying maybe we should have made people anonymous. You guys are missing the point. Everything should be allowed. I would agree that unless you're breaking the law, like someone killing themselves or stuff like that, I think, obviously you got to protect people from that. I'm perfectly fine with that. But white nationalists, white supremacists, black power people, everybody should be allowed to say what the fuck they want on social media. You're not a neutral platform. The reason they don't answer the question, are they a neutral publishing platform? Because if they answer incorrectly, then they open themselves to being regulated like a phone company. This is a prime example. If I were to call somebody now on my Verizon phone and I were to go, hey, dude, I'm going to kill this motherfucker.
Ooh, your Verizon phone. Just fucking flaunt your money.
So I pick up, fine, you're right. I call somebody on my Boost mobile phone.
There you go. Man of the people.
I chirp somebody on my Boost mobile
Gotta
phone.
relate to the people.
Boop, boop. And I say,
Your Nextel.
my
I don't think they
Nextel.
make those anymore.
I let's say I call somebody on my Verizon phone and I go, I'm going to kill somebody. The phone company is not held liable for it. You know what I mean? You're not going to be held liable. You guys don't want to be treated like a utility. The moment you become a public utility, you're fucked. And they don't want that to happen more than anything in the world. They don't want to be. That's why they don't answer. Are you a publishing platform or not? They don't want to answer because they're going to pigeonhole themselves and go, well, actually, you say that you were a publisher, so we're going to treat you this way. They don't want to answer it. They want to have their fucking cake and tweet it too. Yes, I made that joke.
Has
The full tweet.
context.
There's no more context.
Mike's leaving. He didn't like my joke.
I'm quitting.
He's
I'm
quitting the
retiring.
show.
I'm not
Doesn't
even
like-
going to go start my own show.
gonna
I'm
leave?
just retiring from this entire platform.
Mike's gonna grow a beard like Rambo, and one day they're gonna get him and go, "Hey man, we need you to come back."
That was worse than Styx's new wave song.
No, come on. Let's not say things we can't take back, Mike. Let's not say things we can't take back.
Fair enough.
I I can tell you that we have actioned accounts on both sides of this debate, including tweets by pro-choice groups who have said that everybody who's pro.
By the way, I love the word that they use to make it sound like we actioned some accounts.
Life is misogynistic. There are many pro-life groups that advertise on our platforms currently in good standing, and advertisers across the board, whether they're selling.
We're not talking about advertising. We know
you're avoiding the question.
We know they'll take your money.
This is why I could never be in politics, because I would lose my temper at these things.
Of course, but that's why Cruz is, though, because he keeps level-headed through the whole thing.
Like, even if it wasn't me asking the question, like, it could be Cruz asking the questions, and I could be across the Senate floor, and I'd be going, God damn it, answer the fucking question. I want to go home.
They're going to escort you out. They're going to just be like, look, man, you can't keep screaming.
The representative from Florida is being asked to leave the room, please. Jesus Christ. You just hear me as I'm leaving.
Just answer the goddamn question.
Talking the whole way out. Is it really? Oh, well, we got to advertise a good day. Fuck! As they're dragging me out. I'd like to apologize for my colleague from Florida.
Selling soap or NFL sometimes have advertisements that are caught in our systems. And the reason why...
and that is an area we'll be following up as well. So I appreciate your saying there are groups on the pro-choice side that you have blocked, and this committee is going to attempt to understand and quantify if there is a disparate treatment or not. If there's not a disparate treatment, that'll benefit Twitter to show that you're being even-handed. The anecdotes we're aware of are consistently on one side of the aisle. Mr. Potts, do you consider this hate speech? Does Facebook consider this hate speech?
Again, Chairman, I don't believe this was on our site, but looking at that quote right now, the lights are a little bright, so my eyes are trying to zero in, or focus, I should say. That would not be in violation of our policy.
So I'm going to go ahead and throw these guys under the bus. That's on them.
That's exactly what he just did.
We wouldn't have done that shit. Personally, I wouldn't have done that, but these fuck. Maybe Twitter's a publisher. And then Carlos goes, dude, fuck you, bro.
Remember when you got a 30-day ban for posting a screenshot from Supergirl, a CW show?
Yeah.
And you got a 30-day ban for something that was on CW? It was unbelievable.
I think it was my caption, though.
The perfect woman doesn't exist.
Girlfriend doesn't exist.
It's very funny.
But no, like, seriously, you can just picture this Carlos guy right now going, bro, we're supposed to be united front. What the fuck, dude?
Man, come on, man.
Now you throw me under the bus. Say you would have done it.
Come on, dude.
Don't you, man?
And same question that Mr. Manji was asked is, has Facebook, to your knowledge, ever blocked a post from Planned Parenthood?
I believe that is correct. I believe we have, Senator.
Okay, we would be very interested in learning about that. When I asked Facebook that in writing after Mr. Zuckerberg's hearing, you again refused to answer that question as well. And so the basic data, if you are not engaged in censorship, releasing the data, how many people you're blocking, how many people you're downgrading, and what side of the political aisle or ideological aisle they're on, would...
In terms of downgrading, Mike, I'm sure you've seen it. Our Facebook page has absolutely been limited.
Oh, yeah, it's throttled now.
We used to post stuff when we had like 5,000 people that would get, dude, 300, 400 likes, a whole bunch of shares. It was blowing up. We're at 11,000 followers on our Facebook page, and now when we post something similar to things from before, 20 likes.
And it's always the same fans.
Yeah, the same few fans.
All the few fans that have us set to see first.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones.
The only ones. So they're throttling us right now.
Go a long way to either clearing it up or to demonstrating there's a persistent pattern of bias.
So that was Ted Cruz. Now look, nothing's going to happen.
Sadly.
Nothing's, because again, our president's too worried about making sure Benjamin Netanyahu gets a parade for being reelected. I understand that. I get that. All right. Fuck. Okay, I got some.
It's just at the end of the day, there's none. I mean, I'm still pretty black-pilled about it. I mean, the Twitter thing fucked me up really bad. And it's just, I can just feel like people aren't getting notifications for our shows again. Like, it's happening again.
Yep.
I got the September 11th warning on my Nightwave last night.
You saw that Central Happenings Network was deleted?
No.
Remember Central
Yeah,
Happenings?
Of course I know Central Happenings.
Yeah, I thought you knew yesterday. He told me during Daywave yesterday, gone. They said for hate speech. 7,000 subscribers, gone.
Fucked, and he was not a hate speech.
No, at all. Not even close.
Well, there's a guy that follows our show too. That the book guy, Angliophile Anglophile, Bibliophile.
Okay,
was his name.
It's one of those weird names.
And
yeah.
he had a channel on YouTube. Get this, where he read books. That's all he did. He read books.
I was waiting for you to say
He
something
read
else.
books that were in the public domain, like old works, old literary works.
They went down on GloomTube too. Did you see that? They hit GloomTube
I
hard.
just watched GloomTube this morning.
I think they got a strike though.
Oh.
They're not gone, but they're going after them. They're going after people.
Yeah, they actually got yeah, they went. Well, I didn't know they went after him, but they went after this guy who just reads books, and I think it's because you can still buy these classic works like on Kindle and Amazon.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
the only reason I can think of why they took this dude down.
But if they're public domain, then you can't do that. That's
you can
not
do whatever
how
you want. Public-private company, bro. Don't violate the NAP, bro. Libertarian, free market will sort it out, bro.
Choke those people with a "Don't Tread on Me" flag. Just choke them with it. He read Shakespeare. Katie Scarlett says he read Shakespeare.
Yeah. Well, not just Shakespeare, but yeah,
But
that
no,
was
I
one
get
of the
it.
main guys that he would read. But he read a lot of old books that nobody owns anymore. And they just hit him, and they hit him for violating their policies, and it's vague, and they're not helping him out. So, yeah, I don't know, man. They're not even hitting people where it makes sense. They hit Davy Crocco. They hit who else did they hit? They hit a bunch of people. I'm on a list now because last night I played fucking video games, dude. That's what I did last night because last night was my night off.
That's right. And they hit you with a 9/11 thing for playing video games?
Well, I was playing. Remember when we got hit with Miami?
Yeah, showing the Miami skyline.
I was pointing this out to people last night. The algorithm doesn't just detect buildings and go, well, that's 9/11 conspiracy stuff. I think that certain people on certain lists of accounts get that warning when the algorithm picks up buildings or things like that, and it was a glitch. But like Nightwave's on a list, like RTC's on a list. Daywave's we're on a
Daywave
list.
got hit with it too,
So
yeah.
they hit you right away. All I did last night before the show, because this has been a new thing, like instead of just playing a slideshow of the same old memes every night, I sometimes try to find like vintage stock footage, like VHS footage of just people going around New York City in the 80s. And I was playing that last night with like music by St. Pepsi. That's all it was. It was just like cool, vibey kind of mall music playing with shots of old school New York. And they were like, September 11th attacks. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not even talking about it. The only thing I did last night was play that. Then I did the intro. Then I talked about the Nick Abbott thing, which we'll get into probably in the next hour. And then I played video games for like 3 hours. And they were like, nope, conspiracies. I can't even play video games, dude.
Dude, it's getting really, really bad out there. It's you can't do anything. They're cracking down. And then, of course, now with this whole Article 13 thing, all these social media companies are going to be, YouTube included, are going to just be, because they're not going to make a Facebook just for Europe. You know, they're not going to make a Twitter just for Europe. So everyone's going to have to fall in line again under these new standards. That's the real reason, by the way, Facebook got rid of white nationalists and white, because they made all these other excuses. But the real reason is now under Article 13, the social media site can get in trouble for allowing things to be put on their site.
So even if we're not in Europe, Europe fucks us.
That's correct. Did you see, speaking of, and this is just a quick one, but did you see that for the first time in history, London has a higher murder rate than New York City?
I believe it.
London has a higher... Remember, guns are completely illegal over there. It's not even like kind of guns. Guns are illegal. I think the only exception for guns are like I'm sure British people yell at me later, but if you're like a farmer or something, you're allowed to have like a 22 or something like that. Again, pretty sure, and you have to... It's a lot of work to get it, but you can't just have a gun over there. All of them is because of stabbings and knives. Have you seen the pictures now walking up and down London where they have police drones? So there's these drones flying around that are filming you all the time. And it reminds me of that Around the World in 80 Plates. The cameras are here to ensure you're having fun.
Well, you got to have drones in London nowadays. These dangerous white people.
Yeah, I don't think it's the white people. White people.
We still have a YouTube channel. Chill, dude.
Oh, yeah, it's totally the white people. These
These goddamn white men
how dare they?
have destroyed England.
Yeah. Fucking you guys.
Sue Homeland says, are you not going to cover the Assange arrest? I don't know, Sue. Are you not going to be here on fucking time, you retard? We opened the show with it. You see? It was breaking news. Big news. We opened the show
We
with
did
it.
like 20
So,
minutes on it.
Don't you show up fucking an hour late and then bitch. Like, what is that about?
We covered it. We gave
You
really
showed
good
up-
commentary.
You showed up 52 minutes late to the fucking team meeting, and now you're like, "What? We're not going to cover the new policies? This is bullshit." Could you imagine showing up late to school? This dickhead, he's not even covering the fucking